The hype train for the New England Patriots is at full throttle right now, and even the media is on board. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and as well, like below. So we're going to jump right into it today. First and foremost, media talking about the Patriots and finishing in the AFC East. And one of the greatest quotes I have read that have hyped up the Patriots all offseason is this right here. This is the best offseason they've had in a while. We can all agree, especially after last year, for sure. I feel like they're the Bills' biggest threat. Now, we can easily agree with that if you just look at the Jets and the Dolphins. We jumped into the Dolphins not too long ago and talked about, listen, culture doesn't seem there. Sure, they have weapons, but are people going to be able to stay healthy? Are they going to be able to, did they bring any other quality talent in that are going to help them take that next step? At one point, there was a moment where you thought, hey, the Dolphins, they're going to be the team in the East that are going to challenge the Bills, and they've kind of fallen off the map. Will they be able to make that step back up? I don't think so. Then you jump into the New York Jets. New York Jets are in a very interesting boat right now in the AFC, and let me show you this. So first and foremost, the New York Jets had the most turnover in the NFL. Now, you look at some of these other teams, I don't know why the helmet's popping up, but most of these teams, for the most part, were trash last year. Most of them. You had the Chargers, I'll stop at the bottom, Chargers and the Vikings obviously making the playoffs, but besides that, you look at the Titans had the first overall pick, and a lot of these other teams had top 10 picks. Now, does that mean there's a correlation between a low percentage of returning players and your next season's win percentage? No, absolutely not. There's a lot of times, not a lot of times, but there's situations where you've seen big turnover, people come in and things drastically change for the better in that program. Now, my biggest argument with the Jets would be the fact, one, first-year coach in Aaron Glenn. Two, you have a quarterback in Justin Fields where he's been, hey, is he a good quarterback? Is he not? Again, I think that when he got kind of booted out of Chicago, don't get me wrong, I understand why the Bears did that to go get someone like Caleb Williams, even though I'm not a huge Caleb Williams fan. But he ended up going to the Steelers. Indifferent there. Not much happened for him, obviously. And then he ends up with the Jets. So is he your starting quarterback down the road? Possibly, but I think there's a lot of question marks right there. Then as well, you have to remember last year when Aaron Rodgers came to town, finally healthy, finally able to play a full season, and you could easily argue that team had a solid offense, had weapons. Heck, they went out and got Devontae Adams. They had Garrett Wilson. They had Breece Hall. They had the pieces in place. And they had also the defense right there as well, top tier, and they couldn't do anything. So the sentiment in the media for the Jets right now as well, and especially in Vegas, is you have the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, right now in Vegas are tied for odds of winning 8.5 games. That's their over-under. Over-under for the Jets is 5.5. Again, the sentiment for the Jets is only getting worse. Again, I know everyone's going to say, Aaron, let them play the season. Let them play it out. Of course. But what I'm trying to paint a picture of is let's look at the narrative behind the Jets. Let's look at the narrative behind the Dolphins right now. Is it positive? I'm going to tell you no. Read between the lines. Things are not looking good for these two teams. Again, that shows the Patriots, who made the biggest leaps and bounds this offseason, and they are the ones, like we talked about at the very beginning of the episode, are going to be the biggest threat to the Bills. Am I saying they're going to surmount the Bills in the AFC East and take their throne? I'm not saying that. Is it possible? Yes, for sure. Anything is possible. It's football. That's why you play the game. I said that 1 billion times last year. That is why you play the game. But we need to understand that the Patriots have a lot to prove this year. And there is a lot of sentiment behind them where it's, hey, they have this potential, they have this hype, and everyone is on board. So you have to, especially with all the things that were brought in from players to coaches, the culture shift, all these different things, they have to perform. They have to prove it. And I think they will be able to, especially with the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets still being down, I would say. And then the Bills, again, Patriots are going to be coming for it. No team goes into a season saying like, all right, our goal is to come in second in our division. No. Obviously, biggest threat, New England Patriots. What do you think? Comment below. You might disagree. I want to hear from you. Who are the biggest threats to the Bills? And is the picture I'm painting on the Jets or on the Dolphins wrong? What would be your reasoning that they're going to be better than we think? And again, there's always a handful of teams, or at least one team, that comes out and surprises everyone. Could that be the Jets? Could that be the Bills? Could they figure out something with Justin Fields where, hey, we're going to take his athleticism and but as well pair it with, throwing that is more of like what he did in Ohio State that he excelled in, and can their offensive coordinator do that moving forward and really elevate him to play to the potential that the Bears saw when they drafted him? Possibly. Who knows? And again, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Glenn has said, listen, we want to get the ball in his hands. Well, if that's the case, don't forget the New England Patriots have Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis III ready to play a little ball. Okay? So, and Marcus Jones. So, again, comment below. Tell me what you think behind the Jets and the Dolphins. You think they are going to be as bad as they are, or maybe not? Are the Patriots the biggest threat to the Bills, or are they not? Comment below. Last but not least, I just love talking about this because I think it is a great reminder of where we were, the Patriots were, and where we are now as a team, and especially as a fan looking in, what it's been looking like and what it feels like. Again, Gerard Mayo, it was always that the regime he had in New England, though short, and again, it's tough to set that foundation, especially as a first-time head coach. That's why Mike Vrabel, he's done it. He's been there before. This is my expectations. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to preach. This is how I'm going to lay the foundation and keep people accountable. Last year, we know, okay, this is how we didn't want it. And this year, we move into a new era where it's, no, this is expectation, high accountability. Listen, high performance. These are the things that we expect. And so, again, I just love bringing that up and seeing these articles because, again, it's not only us as fans seeing it, but it's also people in the media seeing it. And again, it's that snowball effect right now. What's going on is this little snowball at the top of a mountain that's just rolling down and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Again, the hype train is real. The question will be, are the Patriots going to be able to live up to it? I think the answer is yes. And I think the answer is yes. And I feel more confident in that, as well as I see the other teams in the division, like the Jets and the Dolphins, that I think are not going to do as well, and they're going to still be down. And I do think the Patriots will be the team in this division to really pose a threat for the Buffalo Bills. What says you? What says you? Comment below. Would love to hear from you guys. Again, my name is Aaron. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We will talk later. Peace.